Hey there! My name is Sarah and I am the Senior Project Manager at MediaStar Promotions. Today I'm going to give you some tips on how to create and organize a great event. One of the first things you should consider is where you want to host your event. This is important to think about as early as possible because some venues can be booked as far as 1 or 2 years in advance for a specific date. You may go on a couple of walkthroughs with venues in order to pick the one that's best suited for your event. Just some important things you should consider are what are the audio and visual capabilities of the venue, how many people it can hold, where parking is located, and what the rules of the venue are. Once you have picked the perfect location that meets all of your needs, you can book your date. Next, you want to start thinking about your vendors. Some vendors can be booked far in advance as well, depending on how popular they are. Your chosen venue may or may not provide an in-house staff to help with bartending, catering, or ushering, so keep that in mind when you're going through your hiring process. Just like you need vendors for drinks, food, and managing the event, you may need to look into a company or vendor that can help you with your audio and visual, design, or photography needs. A lot of venues will have preferred companies that have worked at their location before, so if you have difficulties finding the right vendor, they're always a good reference. Keep in mind that an event that requires invitations, posters, or banners should be planned further in advance. Anything needing design and production can take a lot of time, especially the invitations. They should typically be sent out about 4 months prior to your event. Your guests should return a yes or no back to you via an RSVP about a month after they received their invitation. This should give you about 3 months to organize your guest list and work on other details of your event. An important thing to double check is any presentations or videos you may be showing throughout the event. You never want to discover something doesn't work the day of your event, as this can be stressful and difficult to fix at the last minute. If you're using a vendor or doing it yourself, make sure you run your video or presentation through to completion with any audio as well. One of your top priorities while planning your event should be organization and giving yourself a timeline of when things should be accomplished. Keeping something like a binder or a folder of all your vendor and venue contracts, including their contact information, what they are doing the day of, and where their account sits financially is also a smart decision. Event planning can quickly become chaotic if you, as the event planner, are not on top of all of the details. Setting this up early within your event planning schedule will help with how smoothly your event goes the day of. Now that you've done all of that, it's event day. Remember that on the day of your event, you should always try to keep your cool and roll with the punches. Creating a run of show, which is a detailed schedule of the entire event day, is extremely useful and crucial for you to have. You should have a timeline of when vendors arrive and where they are setting up, when your guests arrive and where they are parking, any specific things happening within the event time, when guests leave, and when you and your vendors need to have the venue cleaned and vacated. It is also a good idea to remember that anything can happen, including things that are out of your control. Try not to get stressed and have confidence. Have plan Bs and Cs for anything from a power outage to rainy weather. This will make it easier for you to switch gears and rethink your event at the last minute if you have to. Discuss these backup plans with your vendors and your venues so that everyone is on the same page. Event planning is very involved and can be very daunting to do without additional support. If all of this is starting to sound stressful and you'd like some help, MSP can step in and assure your event will go smoothly. We have everything from 40-foot domes to event photographers. We have audio and visual equipment that can be assembled and managed by our lighting and video team. We have a design team that can make your invitations and much more. We have furniture, tents, and 2 warehouses full of anything you can think of. You may be thinking that hiring an events company is too much money or too involved, but we often work with people based on their budget and even work with nonprofits for their events. MSP has years of experience with events and would love to discuss your vision or support you along the way no matter how or when you need it. We hope you enjoyed our tips for event planning and found it helpful. Thanks for hanging out with us today.